Hi, my friend. Happy Halloween. Whee! Boo. Boo to you. Like, I know this is a couple days before Halloween, but this is the day of filming. So I got this cute little top. I just thought it was fun. My mom's community has a little event that they'll do, and I'm going to wear this top over there just to have some fun. Got to have fun in life, right? Okay, so today we have got the finale of the parfait. So let me just take it down. Let me take it down off the wall and show it to you. Before I show it to you, I want to use this, putting this border on, just as a little demo of how I put my pins nowadays, because it took me a really long time to change how I placed my pins when I was quilting. I know it sounds really simple, but it was a game changer for me. So let me just show you what I do. Before I sew these last two rows on, I put it all up on the wall so I could just be sure I don't have anything rotated odd, like I don't want blocks, you know, like right next to each other that may have been very, very similar. It was kind of, you know, planned out. But what I have are row 3 here, and I've got a wonder clip so that I know the top left. So that in a wonder clip here for the top left, because it is, as you know, extraordinarily easy to accidentally pick these up and rotate them. Now, because the top half is already sewn, I find it easier to sew these two together rather than sew this up here and then this to this big bulkier one, where I then twice have a big bulky unit. Instead, I can take a simple unit, just 2 strips, and then once that's done, put it to the other 2 strip unit. There is a white border all around it to finish it off. Yeah, so there it goes. So that is what I'm going to get ready to do here, and then I will show it to you. Here it is, ready to sew. Bobby helped me with these, and she did seams open. So for those of you who like seeing seams, there is a group of you. You enjoy seeing the seams, but it only has 2. You can see that, the 3rd and 4th rows. So there's just the 2 rows, 3rd and 4th, and here's my marker up here as to the top left, so I know what will go to the top section. So I will go ahead and get this one sewn up on the Solaris, and then add it to up there. There we go. I started out making clothing, and this is how we were taught to pin for clothing when I was in high school. You put them on the outer edge with the head out to the side, which is incredibly inefficient, because what you're doing, let me get this up here, what you're having to do is constantly remove the pin so that you don't go over it. You can't slide it anywhere. You've got the whole thing in the way. And so I am holding the camera in my right hand, but even if I wasn't holding a camera, I would still have to be constantly pulling these guys out. And you all know that you've probably already had to teach yourself not to sew over the pins anymore, because you've probably had some sort of disaster where you've bent things and have been scared you've ruined your machine or have ruined your machine. So you know you need to get these pins out. And this is, you know, a pain in the patootie. The butt. The pain in the butt. Okay, so what I taught myself to do quite a few years ago is, let me show you. Instead of having the pin come out here, I pin it so that the head is on the left. And if I don't need to pin right up at the end here, where I'm going to be sewing, I don't. I pin it further back. But even if I do pin it up there, I can slide it. So I can slide that pin, and I do not have to stop and take them out. So that there's not this stopping and starting all the time to do this. There we go. And that, whoops, that is what I have taught myself to do. One of the things. So tell me about yours. The other thing I've done for this one is leave the wonder clip up here. So that is the top right. So that's, or the top left. Top left when you're looking at it. And here we go. This is such a fun fun quilt. If you have lots of strips, you can make it scrappy. You can make it all one color. You can make them 2 colors. You could do all kinds of things. I would love to see if someone did like a different color sashing. That would be kind of cool. Whether you went really dark, like a black sashing with some jewel tones would be amazing. Also doing one row as a table runner would also be fabulous. So I've got the backing made from my Tiny Secrets. So here is the backing sewn, and this is the piece I'm going to use, the blue. I think that'll be really good. Because this will be a charity piece, as almost all of my pieces, actually practically everything eventually will go to charity. It's nice to have something that people feel like they can use. You know, like there's a lot of color, there's not a lot of weight on this one. And so this sort of blue background will give people a feeling like, yes, I can use that. And then the binding. So there we go. We've got all of that. So let me just hang it back up. For some of my quilts that are going to go right to charity, I am going to hold those off and let the organization that I'm going to give it to have them quilted. They do a lot of work for disaster relief. They're a group that has a huge fundraiser, and I'll pop their information in the description box below. But I've sent them things for one of their events, and so I'm going to collect up, and then that way, you know, I can give them some finished quilts and some that are just tops that they can go ahead and have quilted, and it works out really well for me, as so I can you know, have an outlet for that. Now, if you have tops that you want to give to charities to use, there is a whole article I wrote on my website where I collected all that information up so that you can just go and find an organization that speaks to you, whether it's a big organization like a Quilts of Valor where you have to have specific sizes, Project Linus, or whether they're in your state. You can look, some of them I were given a state that they were in, you know, given their contact information or their websites. So you can just go through there and take a look and contact them before you send anything. Always contact and be sure that they're still accepting quilt tops and any kind of details they may need from you. So that's a resource that I built for you a couple years ago. Over on the Fireside Chat at Facebook, I showed you a little peek of my lemon chiffon. I was trimming it and I had taken a photo, so it is trimmed. Let me just show you. First, I'll show you the quilting. Since it's right here, I will go ahead and scroll in so you can see there are little bees, because I just thought that would be so darling. My friend Karen, who quilts these for me, whoops, she was like, I have this one that has like a grid work, sort of like a honeycomb, and then it has, oh, you can't see that where my finger is. Okay, so here we go. Can you see the bee? Yeah, you can see them out here. So there's like a little bit of a honeycomb grid work. I think you can see that out here. It is so darling. The other thing I have on here is this edge. I used the white. I could have used yellow, but I'm going to put a yellow binding, probably like a gingham, I think. I forget. I think I've already cut it. And I wanted to have something that locks in all of these seams since it was going to the long armor, and I just didn't want all of that, all those seams to be there and possibly some of them pop. So I went ahead and put this strip just all the way around, and then the binding will come out there. And if you didn't want this much of it visible, you could go and trim it down some, so it ends up being just a little tiny strip. And I think it's easier to trim it down afterwards than put on a tiny strip where it might get a little bit warped, depending, and then you got a little bit of room for squaring it up. So I like to make it a little bit oversized, and then I usually just leave it, but you could trim it down. Let's take a look. And this is to fit over my couch, so that when I change things out in the spring or possibly for August, I would put like some of these yellow toned quilts up there. I've got a pineapple, and I have some other ones. I can't think of them right now, but there we go. So this is the lemon chiffon where I was making the units like a, what was it, 3x3, 4x4 units as I sew other things. So it just lets me create like a quilt from 2.5-inch squares, and I've got that on my website as well. Well, let's look at the sew sampler because I haven't opened it. I did cut the tape here so I can get it open easily, but let's see what's inside. These are a subscription box from the Fat Quarter Shop, and there's always wonderful goodies in it. I just think they're the most fun ever. They come with this front part, which says this time bees and braids. Okay. And then on the back will be a coupon, and often then another use for the fabric, like another pattern for the fabric. They give you a custom pattern in here, or a exclusive pattern for the fabric, and then they give you a link on the back of this to something, another pattern that's free on their website. So if you want to have a different option, and they always give you a little booklet. And so this time we have got, oh, okay, so here's the braids. Cool. I like the braids, and I had not seen these papers, so that is very, very cool. There is a super cute clover pink. Oh, this is the seam ripper that, whoops. This is the style seam ripper that I love. I have not seen it in pink before. Oh, this is my favorite seam ripper. Okay, before we look at the fabric, we got one of their new quilt project booklets with the spiral at the top, so you can flip it. And let me just see let's see what's inside. Here you go. It's got flips like this. I love that. So you can just keep track of your hundreds of quilts that you make. It's a nice way to be able to flip through there and see what you have. And then the fabric. It is from, it's called Sun Drenched. There we go, it's a Moda fabric, Sun Drenched. It's got creams and blues and golds. And then here is the pattern. Ta-da-da, with using these papers. That's really fun because they're kind of a little tedious to do. One of my books, I do tell you how to do a braid or chevron kind of thing without that, but it's a little nicer. Those papers are going to make it so nice, so nice. And then they do run this sampler each time they do the boxes. So I will link everything below. This was a great box. I'm so excited about that. So excited. The other thing that the Fat Quarter Shop sent me was this kit, which is for cross stitch. So I wanted to show it to you because I've had it here a little while. Let me just unpack it. So this shows you basically what the things are. There's this cute pillow I'm going to show you where you can put in this metal tray into the pocket, which then there's clips that go on there for you to put your patterns or any papers that you're working with while you're doing a project. And so this is magnetic. And on the back of these clips, these are awesome. So then you could just put it here if you need a little piece of something that you're looking at. It's just clips. Of course, you can clip it up here too, but I think the whole idea is that you can use the magnet on it. And then this is a nice little cushiony pillow. The magnets, there's a bunch of different clips come together. Let's see. And the back, they show you, like if you're collecting the magnets, you can do this and have a place to collect them. So the needle minders, that's what these are, the needle minders that you see me using all the time. So it is a super fun idea. If you like to stitch, this might be a great addition for you, and I will put everything down below.